Imagine a creature that can hear a single mosquito's wing beat from a distance of 20 meters, then change its flight path in less than a blink, so fast that the insect never knows it was there. This is not myth. It is the everyday reality of the humble bat. In the darkness of a limestone cavern, a single bat can emit a burst of sound louder than a jet engine, yet each pulse lasts only a few milliseconds. Within that whisper-thin slice of time, the bat's ears compare the returning echoes with astonishing precision, calculating distance, size, and even the texture of a prey's wing. The result is a three-dimensional map built on sound, allowing the bat to swoop, hover, and snap up insects that are barely visible to the human eye. Scientists who have recorded these echoes are still astonished by the speed and accuracy, so much so that they call it nature's most sophisticated sonar system, a technology that predates our own radar by millions of years. Even the tiniest variations in echo timing, measured in microseconds, translate into a decision to turn left or right, a feat that would challenge even the most advanced human drones. Across every continent except Antarctica, millions of tiny mammals take to the night sky, their silhouettes flickering like living lanterns. These are bats, the only mammals capable of sustained flight, and they have turned the planet's darkest places into bustling metropolises. Deep within limestone caverns, abandoned mines, and even hollow trees, colonies can swell to millions, each individual a single thread in a living tapestry of sound. The species most renowned for acoustic precision, the horseshoe bat, clings to the damp walls of tropical caves from the rainforests of Brazil to the karst landscapes of Vietnam. Here, humidity hangs thick like a veil, and the air is alive with thousands of wing beats per second. Outside the caves, these agile hunters skim over rivers, forests, and deserts, hunting moths, beetles, and even small fish. Their world is a three-dimensional soundscape, where daylight is irrelevant and echo becomes sight. Understanding where they live, how they roost, and the environments that shape their sonar is the first step toward appreciating the miracle that unfolds every night beneath the veil of darkness. Each dusk they emerge, a living orchestra tuning its instruments for the night's performance. Scientists have long known that bats navigate by emitting high-frequency clicks that bounce off objects, returning as echoes. These sounds, often beyond 20 kilohertz, are too high for human ears, but bats hear them with ears specially tuned to the ultrasonic range. When a pulse leaves a bat's mouth, it travels at the speed of sound, reflects off a leaf, insect, or cave wall, and returns in a fraction of a second. The bat's inner ear measures the tiny delay between emission and return, converting it into distance. By comparing the intensity and frequency shift of the echo, the bat discerns size and movement. Modern researchers have attached tiny microphones to free-flying bats, capturing the precise timing of each call. High-speed video shows the animal adjusting its wing beat within milliseconds of receiving new information. In laboratory settings, scientists can replay altered echoes to test how bats react, confirming that they rely on both timing and Doppler shift to build a three-dimensional map of their surroundings. This fundamental system, sound in, map out, forms the backbone of every bat's nocturnal existence, a marvel that has been validated across dozens of species worldwide. While most people picture bat sonar as a simple ping-pong of sound, the reality is far richer. The first surprise came when researchers discovered that many bat species emit calls that change shape mid-flight, a technique called frequency modulation. Instead of a steady tone, the bat sweeps its call up or down the frequency ladder in a fraction of a second, creating a chirp that carries multiple layers of information. This dynamic call allows the bat to simultaneously gauge distance and speed, because the shifting frequencies interact with moving prey in a way that reveals the insect's velocity through the Doppler effect. Even more astonishing, some species can adjust the bandwidth of their chirps depending on how cluttered the environment is, narrowing the range in tight caves to avoid overlap, then widening it in open skies to capture more detail. The bat's brain processes these complex acoustic patterns in real time, a feat that rivals the most advanced artificial sonar systems. This adaptability was unknown just a decade ago, and it flips the old notion that bat echolocation is a static, one-size-fits-all tool. Delving deeper, we discover that a bat's echolocation system operates on a time scale that would make a human stopwatch seem primitive. Each pulse lasts only a few milliseconds, and the interval between successive calls can be as short as 50 microseconds when a bat zeroes in on fast-moving prey. In this razor-thin window, the bat's auditory cortex distinguishes minute differences in echo timing, differences as small as 1/10,000th of a second. This precision allows the animal to calculate the exact position of a moth's wing in mid-flap, predicting where it will be a fraction of a second later. Moreover, bats can emit a rapid series of calls, known as a buzz, that accelerates to up to 200 calls per second in the final strike. This blitz of acoustic data creates a high-resolution, three-dimensional picture in real time, giving the bat the ability to dodge obstacles and adjust its attack trajectory on the fly. Such microsecond mastery is not just a curiosity. It demonstrates a neural processing speed that rivals the fastest computers, showcasing evolution's capacity to fine-tune biological hardware to an almost unimaginable degree. The true turning point arrives when we learn that some bats can actually alter the shape of their own ears and nose leaf in response to the echoes they receive, essentially remodeling their own acoustic antenna mid-flight. In species like the greater horseshoe bat, the fleshy nose structure can expand or contract by a few millimeters within seconds, changing the directionality of the emitted beam. Simultaneously, the bat's ear membranes, the tragus and pinna, can swivel or tense, fine-tuning the reception pattern to capture echoes from a specific angle. This dynamic morphing enables the animal to focus its sonar like a spotlight, isolating a single insect among a swarm. Even more bewildering, researchers have observed that when a bat encounters a particularly noisy environment, such as a bustling cave entrance, it will deliberately lower the frequency of its calls and adjust its ear position to filter out background clutter, effectively tuning out the noise. The bat becomes both emitter and adaptive receiver, reshaping its own body to match the acoustic landscape. This level of on-the-fly anatomical reconfiguration was once thought impossible outside of slow, developmental processes, making the bat's sonar a living, breathing instrument. The implications of this acoustic wizardry ripple far beyond the dim corridors of caves. Engineers studying bat sonar have begun to design sensors that mimic the animal's ability to switch frequencies on the fly, creating sonar systems that can adapt to cluttered environments such as urban canyons or underwater wrecks. In robotics, miniature drones equipped with bat-inspired echolocation can navigate tight spaces without GPS, using microsecond timing to avoid obstacles, a capability that could revolutionize search and rescue missions in collapsed buildings. Moreover, the bat's dynamic ear and nose morphology inspires new materials that change shape in response to sound, a concept called acoustic metamaterials, which could lead to stealth technology that bends incoming sonar waves away. On a broader scale, the bat reminds us that evolution has already solved many problems we are only now beginning to tackle. By studying how a mammal processes billions of acoustic data points per second with a brain the size of a walnut, we gain insight into efficient neural computing that could inform the next generation of artificial intelligence. In short, the bat's ultrasonic precision is not merely a curiosity. It is a blueprint for a future where humanity listens to the world with the same elegance and adaptability that nature has mastered. Humans have been fascinated by bats for millennia, weaving them into myth as omens, companions, and even healers. In recent decades, the scientific reverence for bat echolocation has sparked practical collaborations. The precise targeting ability of bats inspired the development of ultrasonic surgical tools that can cut or coagulate tissue without a scalpel, reducing trauma in delicate procedures. In the field of medicine, researchers have studied the bat's immune system, discovering that its ability to process massive amounts of acoustic information correlates with a surprisingly robust resistance to viruses, offering clues in our fight against emerging diseases. Culturally, the bat's nightly serenade has influenced music and sound design, with composers sampling ultrasonic clicks and translating them into audible textures that evoke mystery. Indigenous peoples in parts of Asia and Africa have long used bat colonies as natural pest control, encouraging their presence to keep insects at bay in agricultural fields. Even in popular media, documentaries and films celebrate the bat's sonar as a symbol of hidden intelligence, prompting audiences to reconsider the darkness as a realm of wonder rather than fear. Through these diverse threads, the story of bat ultrasound weaves itself into the tapestry of human innovation and imagination. Despite decades of study, the bat's ultrasonic world still holds many secrets. One lingering mystery is how exactly the bat's brain integrates the torrent of echo data with other senses, vision, touch, even magnetoreception, to produce seamless, real-time decisions. Researchers have recorded activity in the auditory cortex, yet the downstream pathways that translate timing and frequency shifts into motor commands remain only partly mapped. Another unanswered question concerns the genetic basis for the extraordinary ear muscles that allow rapid shape changes. Scientists are just beginning to identify the genes that control this plasticity. Moreover, we still do not fully understand how bats adapt their sonar when hunting in extreme environments such as high-altitude cliffs or the open ocean, where sound propagation behaves differently? Do they alter call structure or rely more heavily on other cues? Finally, climate change is reshaping bat habitats, and it is unclear how shifts in insect populations and temperature will affect the evolution of echolocation strategies. Will future bats develop new frequencies or call patterns to cope with novel prey? These open questions keep the field vibrant, reminding us that every answer uncovers deeper layers of wonder in the echo-filled night. As the night deepens and the forest settles into a hushed lull, the unseen ballet of bat sonar continues, a quiet symphony composed of clicks too fast for our ears yet perfect in its purpose. Each pulse is a reminder that the world holds mechanisms of such subtlety that we, with all our technology, can only glimpse their shadows. The bat, a modest creature of wing and fur, teaches us that mastery does not require grandeur. It thrives in the ability to listen, to adapt, and to turn darkness into a canvas of sound. When we pause to imagine those tiny mammals weaving through caves, forests, and moonlit skies, charting their world with microsecond precision, we glimpse a truth that stretches far beyond biology. The universe is a tapestry of patterns waiting to be heard. In that realization lies a gentle awe, a quiet invitation to keep our own senses open, to seek the extraordinary in the ordinary, and to cherish the strange, beautiful rhythms that pulse beneath the surface of every night. So next time you hear the faint rustle of wings overhead, remember that a universe of sound is being mapped, one invisible echo at a time.